So back here at Johnston Park in Sydney, this is where I took out last fall after I twisted my knee. And it got better after a few weeks, but that was the end of the route last year. Interesting story with this dam here. A little bit upstream, there's a boating club, and the way that rivers were managed back in the day, they simply talked to the powers that be, maybe the mayor, and said, hey, let's pile up all these rocks so we can get more water stacked up behind them that we can jet ski up and down for a couple miles. And that's what they did. I think there's back and forth with some different groups about taking that down, getting rid of that. The water seems to be moving pretty good, so putting in probably close to 9 o'clock. It's over a 2.5 hour drive out here, gas, yada yada yada, but got a lot of miles to do too, because my campsite for the night is about 29 miles down the river in Tip City. So I'm gonna bring the kayak down here, probably put in right off of this slab here, and head down the river. So this is it, Great Miami River at Sydney, Johnston Park. There's a dam about half a mile up or so, I think, that I have to portage left, and if I know Angie, she'll probably be there. Catch some pictures at least. Good flow, 1.5 miles or so, maybe 2 miles an hour it feels like. We'll see if that keeps up or if it's just right here at the dam. Be nice to get away from the streets and traffic. So this is nice. You get away from the road really quick, and a lot of heron already. Some waterfall. Different songbirds. And this bridge, I think, is actually where the dam is. Man, that was quick. Could be wrong, but I've got a map of this Great Miami Water Trail. Danger ahead, take out. So I think that's where I want you to take out. It's so funny just looking at this. So yeah, just pull your kayak up this 10-foot embankment. Easy peasy, right? So I just walked ahead and scouted the dam up here. There's a gauge station, I believe, that's a couple hundred feet from the dam on this left-hand side. So what I'm going to do is just, so this is the put in at Stoll Bridge. Concrete path right down there. Maybe about 1/8 of a mile portage. But with that first sign, it's straight up and down. So it's a tough takeout. I came down a little bit further and found a better spot. Oh, bridge support, I guess. Water picked up some flow and some movement. Because it's getting choked down between all that driftwood over there. What in the world is... What are all those bags? That's odd. You know what? Just dawned on me. Those are probably huge sandbags. They must be doing, yep, I see a piece of machinery back there. Yeah, doing some construction. Sandbags holding the water back. Interesting. Well, that was a drag. The guy just said that said they're putting in a culvert dam right here. So I don't know if that will actually mean a dam coming across the river, but sounded like that's what they're doing. Why? Who knows? I don't know. A couple Canadian geese. A lot of heron already. Mother duck straight up ahead over on the right bank doing her broken wing imitation. There comes her mate to join her. Flow is gone, so looks like it's going to be a lot of shoulder work. Just to get to past the other dam and see what that water brings. A little bit of flow again, so the bottom must have came up, sides closed in, sped the water up a little bit. I would like to get a whole lot more of that. Pretty stretch down here, a lot of green. There are houses on the left, not too far off. I can see their tops every now and then between trees, but still pretty secluded. Tell you what, it's nice to have water that actually has movement to it. Small periods of dead water when it widens out, but then when it chokes back down again, it speeds up. It's nice just to have water to float and not be dragging. So about 45 minutes into it, a little over 3 miles, and not sure where the next dam is. I'm gonna have to look on the sheet. But I don't think it's for a little bit ahead anyways. Well, this is interesting. There's a whole lot of piled up wood right there. Glad the water doesn't have a big flow to it. You know what though? This first pile is on the front of the bridge, and that second pile looks like it's against an old pillar from a pre-existing bridge. Yes, okay, cool. So that pile isn't actually connected. Two separate piles with a big, huge path to go in between them. Good. Probably could have went around on the left side too, but there was a tree all the way down. I had to jump over. Clear sailing. Yeah, look how that other bridge was, I don't know, maybe it's 20 feet in the air. This other railroad bridge has got to be, I don't know, 80 or 100 feet in the air. definitely say a flood wiped that out. I'd love to be able to go back and just find out when these bridges I paddled by got destroyed. Like, was it 1913 flood? Was it the 1937 flood? You know, maybe they even just took the bridge down to build a new one. I don't know. In my copious spare time, I guess I could do that. So I'm going to jump around this branch here on the right because I do not want to get swept into all that stuff going on over there. And then I just need to stay outside of this cluster of things. They would be more than willing to smack me right out of the kayak. Nice stretch down through here. You know, bummed out though, I haven't heard a kingfisher once. It's kind of a drag. One of my favorite birds. So, hour 11 minutes, 5 miles in. Wow, oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squirrels. They're all the same family. Really pretty, really pretty. The water's got a nice flow to it. A couple miles an hour. Speeds up, it slows down. It goes back and forth as it gets wider and narrower. And nice overcast, so I don't have the sun beating down on me. I think it's supposed to be up in the 80s today. Ah, he went over into the woods. It's a pileated woodpecker. Pileated. Pileated, pilated. I don't know what the proper pronunciation is. Big, beautiful woodpecker. Just flew across the river, but went into the woods. So that must be I-75 up there. So probably have another 2 or 3 miles maybe to Piqua. I don't know. I thought I remembered seeing Piqua was something like 12 miles from Johnston Park, but I don't know, my memory could be way off. But it did about 6.5 miles so far, so if that was at 7, I don't know. We shall see though. I gotta take a peek and see what dams we got coming up also. I got that map in a waterproof bag right on the hull. So, I-75.